Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age Mythology Replay. Well, on the south side is the blue Loki. We have Sergarb. On the north side as the red Poseidon. We got Bigbuda18. With a lowercase one, looks like. I know it's just the font style. But it's still a little bit interesting how one's lowercase. When it comes to map generation, particularly relics, let's see what relics we have on the field. We've got Pandora's Box, make your myth units cost less favor. Very useful for the Norse, but also useful for all. Very fun. I recommend opening the box. Scales of Echidna, make your myth units cheaper. You get 20% reduction here, 15% reduction there. That's pretty good. So combine the two, you got a lot of myth units. In which the Greeks only can get 4 heroes in the field. They're good heroes, but only limited. Olar's Bowl, increase the maximum range of range units, as well as Ballista. And up here, we got Head of Orifice, improves line sight of all buildings by 8. The least useful relic on the map. But having both the cost reduction myth units could be very, very fun. I recommend have some fun. We do have, let's see, fast age up going for Ares. Now mixing a bit of wood and gold. Cutting down the stragglers, got a pair of houses there. Ares does give access to Cyclopes. That is actually the proper plural term for Cyclops. We also got Thesis in the field. He's ready to research his thesis. And up here we do have Heimdall, give the Inhare, or however you pronounce that. They toot their horn like Arcantos. Or they toot their horn rather than scream like a madman. More Herseers being pulled in the field. And let's see, their god power is the Undermine, right? Yep, and we also got the very powerful god power of Pestilence. Disable reduction from buildings can allow you to get a pretty good counterattack or attack going. Prevents your opponent from initiating a defense or counterattack. But we got multiple structures not being pulled on the front line by blue. 2 longhouses, 2 great halls. We got some hippists to pull in the field. Some chickens being obtained. Chickens do collect slower than hunts, like these monkeys. But chickens do get collected faster than berry bushes. Basically put, the more dangerous the meat, the faster your collection rate. Or more dangerous the food source, I generally should say. So those dangerous hunts, not dangerous hunts, the passive chickens, are they they're probably more close to hunts, aren't they? We're doing now blue straightforward, got some a good number of Anhare as well as Herseers, which all are infantry. They hit hard but slow, but their DPS is not too high except for some myth units, more closer to a counter unit than a generalist unit. Got some medium rating cavalry, so overall I think a good mix of just hoplites would be useful. He has his 2 heroes engaged in the myth unit. The throwing axemen still pose a problem, so some archers wouldn't be that bad. Though in this case, just stable production, go for some of the hippest cavalry would just generally be very good. We got another spy. There's Undermine, instantly destroyed that outpost. And get some militia that help supplement his force, which are also weak hoplites. They do have the anti-cavalry modifier. These versus these raiding cavalry. That villager, that lady's getting hacked apart. Does back off there. Temple has Pandora's Box, the cheaper myth units. Colossus being focused down by the Inhare. Red especially forward. He doesn't really have a significant arm field. The Toxicate should probably focus on the throwing Axeman. We also got okay, that's just Scout, that's just Goat. There's the Red Cavalry. I wasn't really paying attention all too much to them, but they're hitting some villagers. Very good. Villagers trying to shank the hippest cavalry. Up north, we do have a certain amount of medium rating cavalry here. As it starts losing structure, the militia will be very useful. Help dealing with defense gets it. There's a single Toxtay. Got 2 Toxtays here just firing away. Even though they're... Let's see. Blue did take out the Hippos Cavalry. Scout does go down. We now got 41 military units versus just 6. 21 civilians versus 31. So Blue has lost a significant amount of civilians. He has an army that's being aggressive. So I'm sure the villagers are starting going down there. No Alphas in the region. He may just get inside the town center, but he's standing and fighting, shanking the medium rating cavalry. And villagers are not classified as infantry, so the throwing axeman doesn't do all too well versus throwing villagers. In fact, they do very poorly. 6 damage, reduced attack speed, basically equivalent to a slinger against villagers. We do have a good number of Toxtays here. Good number of Inhare, as there's now Cyclops engaged. They all troop to their horns. This cavalry trying to charge forward. Does take out... I think he deleted that house there. No militia. Blue is being forced back. Got a good amount of production here, but I don't think he has the economy to support it. Yeah, he doesn't have the economy to support it. He has 25 villagers versus 31. The Greek is still producing villagers, so the Greek player is slightly ahead there. A very large number in Hare. They cost 15 favor, so we must be getting a lot of favor generation in these recent conflicts. We also now got the Galahorn, increasing the melee damage, hit points, and increase the duration of the tuning the horn. Villagers being tasked off of chickens and onto, looks like goats. The goats are mostly fattened up enough. Berries are too dangerous. Got some elephants to corner. Red may not have them scouted out, however. But that will be a safe enough spot to collect from. Blue has not made any pass up there, I believe. A lot of research queued on up for Red, going for some Toxtays, going for some medium infantry, so maybe going for some hoplites. He has a good number of hoplites here. And now we do have some medium running cavalry being pulled in the field. Both his god powers are consumed. Red still has his pestilence, so if he pushes forward over here, he could perhaps take out the army. Once he takes out the army, or believes he takes out the army, he can activate pestilence to deny the reinforcements. But he's going for a forward town center here. That'll help him recover the villager count. You now have Atlantia being deployed in the field. That's the fast hero. He runs very fast. That's her mythology. She does have 5.6 movement speed, which I believe cavalry moves around like 5.9. Let's see, raiding cavalry moves at full 6. I think the Hippos moves at 5.9, maybe 5.6. In other words, she can accompany the cavalry, so if they ever have to deal with a myth unit, she can stab them. Now I've got some gatherers on the build queue. Blue's trying to catch up the villager count. Red needs some basic walls there. On the mini-map, that should wall it in. I have no idea. This just doesn't feel like a wall in to me. Oh wait, the spy. The raiding cavalry going straight for the spy. That is... oh boy, that god power is paying dividends now. Cyclops does toss that cavalryman around. Their villager count is even. Wasn't paying attention to the number of corpses, of villager corpses. I think maybe got 1 or 2 at most. House, going for some house walls there, very nice. Into a stable walls, eyeing for a bit more stability in his life. Let's see right now. We got good number throwing axes, which are good against infantry, but he's not fighting against a whole lot of infantry. Just only a handful of hoplites. We got a single medium Erdman here, a counter cavalry unit. And good number in Hari. He does have his 2 heroes in the field, so that's all he can do. He can use myth units to fight myth units, since it does have ×2 multiplier versus myth units, but vice versa. Yeah, I think the Toxicity army is definitely good composition. Does get plus 25 damage versus the throwing axemen. They are classified as infantry as well as ranged soldier, thus they're vulnerable to both. Hoplites are a good option, but so is Cyclopes, but he's also going to engage the cavalry of his own cavalry. Medium Hippus does have 1 attack speed, 11 damage, 165 point health, and costs 120, but very expensive gold. Almost half the health, almost half the or less damage there, barring all the horns. Atlantia taking some damage there. And now the Toxates, Hoplites can move around. He's just backing on off. But yeah, 4 less damage, so 50% less damage. Same attack speed, and does cost 90 rather than 120. Toxates in a good position there. Got a free Valkyrie popped in right next to the Toxates, drawing a lot of fire there. Militia being brought on, summoned. The free Valkyrie does go down, does pick up the Erdman. Toxates engaged. Throwing Axemen, I believe, is a unit that's a bit more of a trap for players, because after all, look, 6.6 damage is not too high, and members will have 50% slower at normal attack speed. That is very, very massive. They're really a counter unit. They're not really an a generalist unit. They're definitely a counter unit. Of course, you can only get this as your only ranged unit in Age 2. In Age 3, you get the Gobi, which is also more or less a counter unit, being anti-myth unit. In other words, in my opinion, don't rely on the 3XM too much, mix in some other units. Both players have similar army sizes, at least in value. They have similar villager numbers as well. Decent fight for the Hoplite to engage with. We do now have the heavy cavalry queued on up. Of course, that doesn't mean much until he ages up. Right now, Loki has a massive float of wood and gold. He needs to get some more food in his diet. He's not a Colossus. He can't eat trees. He has to plant the trees first and then eat that. Got a lot of expiring goats there. Maybe transition to a massed farms. He's getting some zebra. There's also some more gazelles here. Pestilence is still ready to go. He does not have enough favor for another lure. Spawns chickens. I didn't realize lures spawn chickens. That must have been a buff. I don't remember the lure spawn chickens beforehand. If that's the case, that actually is a nice little buff. I know compared to regular Age of Mythology, the lure has been greatly buffed. Well, actuality, in original Age of Mythology, the lure was actually very bugged out. Spiff and Griff made a video that if you were to repair the lure, you got infinite resources because it was weirdly programmed. That has, of course, been patched a long time ago. Poseidon's now aging up to Dionysus, give you access to the Hydra, Ale Hydra. Oh, the spy. I'm pretty sure. I never really. Yep, you don't see that icon above it. Like, oh, why don't they pull that spy off? Because you don't see it. That spy is being very, very valuable. That spy ain't one of ours. You know, also the age up here of Baragi gives you access to the battle board. Also going for some copper weapons. Got some copper being researched here as well. A lot of throwing axemen. Generally, I think the cavalry focus will still be a great option for Poseidon. That'll be a good counter to the throwing axemen. You could go for the spear throwers, the peltas, but that is more of a counter unit, not more generalist unit, and it's better to go for more generalist units rather than counter units, unless your opponent's going solely that unit. Right now, it looks like Poseidon should perhaps go for Prodromos and Hippus. Hippus is definitely be good, since it will beat medium graded cavalry 101. I think cost effectively as well. Can't say exactly how cost effective. I think they're actually relatively cost equal, but the fact that the Hippus has a small surface area that allows it to punch through certain units very quickly. And the amount of cavalry he's going to be fighting against, Prodromos will be still decent, and counter unit versus counter unit, while the counter unit didn't need neither, still should be pretty accessible for Poseidon.
Πρόσεχε.
Now we've got the flank weapons activated. He really wants to counter the dead. We've got bronze in return, but the problem is he's focused on the town center, allowing red to get a lot of free damage there. The bronze not being super useful since he's not being focused down. But now bronze, a large number of these guys are actually quite wounded. That's the Cyclops throw some units there to get massive splash damage. Wasn't paying attention there. Got another free Valkyrie. Could use a Hippolea to engage the Valkyrie. I think her mythology was very big bow. Now it's creeping through here. Time for the Pestilence God power. This is the perfect time for Pestilence. He may have forgot about it. In actuality, he's not building anything here. So Pestilence is actually not important if he's doesn't have any military cues. Focus on the villagers. Not a lot of cavalry help pursue them. They're moving at 3.8. The militiamen move at 4.8, while hoplites move at 4.3. Both got a bit of divine damage from the upgrade. Got heavy infantry, heavy cavalry, and the Loki backing out of the game. This Android saying, thank you for watching. On to the next replay.